Welcome to Talking Pictures Trivia, the podcast in which a group of friends explore a movie through trivia. I'm one of these friends, KJ, and with me is...
Tom.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Ragnar.
For those joining us for the first time, we start off each episode with 4 rapid-fire trivia questions and possibly a few bonus questions. Audience, feel free to play along from home. The first question is worth 1 point, and each question after that is worth 1 more point. Then, we'll follow it up with our famous movie rant where anything goes. Tom, tell us about today's movie.
Walking up to theaters in 2022, we would have had to choose between the Bob's Burgers movie, Detective Conan, The Bride of Halloween, the second Doctor Strange movie, Jurassic World Dominion, and today's movie, Top Gun Maverick. Ragnar will be our questionnaire today. Ragnar, what is Top Gun Maverick all about?
After more than 30 years of service, Pete Maverick Mitchell finds himself back at Top Gun, training a detachment of graduates for a special assignment. Maverick must confront the ghosts of his past and his deepest fears if he wants to lead the next generation of fighter pilots through the most dangerous mission any of them have ever faced.
More like the gooses of his past. Am I right?
Hey-o! KJ, you're fired.
It's time for question 1.
What speed does Maverick break in a stealth plane as a test pilot for the Navy at the start of the film?
Locked in.
Locked in.
So locked in, but I just want to, so you said, what speed is he trying
I
to...
knew it. That's why I wrote this question twice, because I knew Kevin was going to give you this stupid...
Yeah, no. It's what speed
we
does he
all
want to
know
break?
what I mean.
Okay. We all know
what is he aiming to break?
Got it.
That's why I changed it the second time. What is he aiming for?
Aiming. Got it. Yeah. Locked in.
KJ, please give us your answer first.
Mach 10 is what they're aiming for. Well, let me start at the beginning. I'm going to give the whole answer. They're shooting for Mach 9, but the program's going to get shut down, and the goal of the program was to get to Mach 10. So they're shooting for Mach 10. Not necessarily to break Mach 10, just to get to Mach 10.
Tom.
I also said they're trying to get to Mach 10, which is 7,670 miles per hour.
Chris.
Well. I have an answer similar to KJ. They wanted to break Mach 9. They were going to get shut down. They wanted to break Mach 10, and they got to, I believe, Mach 10.4 was the final before he blacks out.
Very good, gentlemen. Very good. That was a good warm-up question to get those engines going. And now we're ready for takeoff with question
Which no one
2.
has actually ever done in a plane.
Tom Cruise just did it.
So. Fair enough. I actually like that scene. I will say that. I was encouraged by that action sequence. The director was good.
I saw it with my own eyes that it happened. Oh, the movie looks fantastic, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, every scene was amazing. Tom, you're wrong. Okay, so
just complimented it.
Still,
while you were closing your door.
That scene was actually good. It's time for question 2.
Gentlemen, to answer this question properly, you're going to need 2 miracles. What type of jet fighter do Maverick and Rooster fly to safely at the end of the movie? That's the first miracle. And how many MiGs does Maverick claim to have shot down in such a jet? That's the second miracle.
Locked in,
but I do not know my my ships very well.
Oh, good thing it's not a ship. JJ, you're definitely going first.
Okay. I believe it was 3 MiGs, and I'm gonna say F-15. My keyboard doesn't go that high, but F-15.
Chris.
So it's an F-14. That I'm almost positive of, and I'm pretty sure that KJ is right that it is 3 MiGs.
Tom.
I thought it was an F-14 as well, but I remember Phoenix saying 5. So I'm going to go with 5 MiGs.
Only one of you got both correct. Chris.
Oh, okay.
The Phoenix scene was after he had shot down. And the question says, how many MiGs does Maverick claim to have shot down in the jet?
Mhm.
not Phoenix.
Right. By the end of the movie, they say, what, 6? Because Hangman has one too.
Right. And I don't know if those, I mean, I'm
Or
way off
MiGs,
base here, but I
right,
don't know
yeah.
if those ones that he shot down at the end of the movie were MiGs.
Mm-hmm.
They were like 5th generation or whatever.
They were 5th generation.
Yeah. Oh, I just remember, like, what's his name saying, Rooster saying something like, I got 2. And she's like, Mav got 5. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, no, that they're talking in that about like confirmed aerial kills, because the beginning of the
Yes.
movie they talk about
Mhm.
Hangman is the last guy in 20 years to have a confirmed in combat kill.
Oh, okay.
So Hangman says, I got 2 now, and Rooster says that. Then Maverick's got 5, which I think is his total from Top Gun 1 and Top Gun 2
Mhm.
together, which makes them the ace.
Yeah, it's nothing compared to Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando, but whatever.
Is he a pilot in that?
No,
No,
he's just
but
a
he kills a
guy with a
lot.
bunch of guns. He kills like 120 people in like 24 hours.
It's time for question 3.
What 2 things in the movie are called the hard deck?
Locked in.
Locked in.
Locked in, but I'm really only sure of one.
KJ didn't watch the movie.
I was just so enthralled by it that I didn't catch these details. Okay, so let's start with the bar, the easy one, right? The bar was called the hard deck. And then the other thing that was called the hard deck was the hard deck, which is when you're doing the training, you're not supposed to go below a certain number of feet. But I can't imagine that's what you're looking for. I hope her boat wasn't called the hard deck as well. But my 2 answers, the bar and then where they're not allowed to fly below while they're training.
Tom?
Oh God, I'm gonna get this wrong because I had the hard deck as 5,000 feet and 100 feet.
The hard deck is the altitude that you're allowed to get as close to the Earth, which was 5,000 feet, but then he requested it be lowered. And I do believe KJ is right. I believe the bar is called the hard deck.
KJ and Chris are correct.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm getting
Yeah.
blown away here.
So the hard deck being the term that the Navy uses for the minimum allowed altitude. Below that is considered a ground impact. So there are 2 hard decks because they do change it, but it's still just the term, the concept, and then the bar.
And Chris, I'm impressed because in the first movie, they referred like the hard deck's a big deal. That's one of the, not one of the first rules, but it's one of the big rules Maverick breaks.
Oh no, this is because of my wife, because I watched it next to my wife.
Ah.
I found out a whole bunch of nonsense. That might be a top 10 movie for my wife. I'll have to ask.
The first one or Maverick?
The first one.
Oh.
It's time for question 4.
What does the Navy call the school that the Flyers call Top Gun?
Locked in.
Oh no, I have no idea. I'll lock in something.
In 1969, the Navy was nervous that nobody was
And I
going to be
knew
able to
the
dogfight.
date too. It's 3/3/69.
Oh,
I
yeah.
knew I should have paid
3/3/69.
attention to that crawl more.
Yeah, because
What
I
a good
thought
font. What a good font.
Even the font's amazing.
Tom Cruise
Cruise
picked that out.
font.
Yeah,
Yes,
for sure.
yes.
He studied fonts for 3 years just to pick that font.
He and Steve Jobs were good friends.
yeah, I was about to make the same joke.
I don't even have a good joke answer, Ragnar. Locked in.
Tom, let's hear your answer first.
I was going to say the Naval Elite Flight Academy.
KJ?
North Island Academy for those with good sight.
Nailed it. Chris, take us home.
I think it's oh man, I was just on the tip of my tongue and now I can't remember it. I'm apparently not taking you home. I'm sorry.
Talk to me, Chris.
You're gonna be at the bar. Advanced Fighter School.
All are incorrect.
What was it?
Fighter Weapons School.
That's oddly vague. You wouldn't think planes if somebody said fighter weapons school. Be like, oh yeah, all right.
Maybe that's the point. In case their
Yeah.
communication gets intercepted. Fighter Weapons School. Who cares?
Yeah, sounds like a Ninja Turtle thing. But
That was the moment I knew I was gonna like this movie. Was when I saw the crawl. I was like, yes, any movie that starts with a crawl is like
It's
instantaneously.
the same as
a
the
top 10.
first one, right? It's the same.
It might be the literal same crawl.
I think it is literally the same crawl. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, guys, Chris is winning, but do we want to end with nobody getting the right? Do you have bonus questions lined up at all, Ragnar?
I do.
So it's up to you, Chris. Do you want to take the episode, or do you want to win with a correct answer?
No, let's double down. Let's go for the big one here.
All right.
God.
It's
All right,
worth
let me
5.
Find them.
It's time for a bonus question.
What element is being enriched in the target facility?
Locked in.
Yeah, locked in.
And if everyone knows it, except KJ, should I pick a different one?
No,
KJ's
think I
working with
know it.
plutonium over there.
Yeah, plutonium. It's the same thing Doc Brown was looking for.
Him and the Libyans, they're all together.
Yeah. Maybe in 1985, you could just walk into the corner store and get it, but here we blow it up with little planes.
Oh, KJ for sure, please.
Plutonium.
That was the best answer, KJ. You got that one. KJ wins the episode, everybody.
Yay! Oh,
All right.
Congratulations,
Plutonium?
Nick, for winning the episode.
Tom, Chris, can you guys can say it in unison?
Definitely uranium.
Uranium.
Was it
yeah.
uranium? It wasn't plutonium?
It was uranium.
I
Yeah.
thought it was
We thought we were.
plutonium.
Wait, were you joking?
I know. I wrote it down in my little thing. I always write down my answers.
Mhm.
So points to
Wow.
Tom and Chris.
With the correct answer, Chris wins it.
All right.
Yay!
Yay! Congratulations, Nick and
Who-
KJ.
who reads
Congratulations, Nick.
Yay.
Stay tuned for our overly charismatic movie rant coming up right after this break.
Charisma is not guaranteed.
Yes, it is. The whole movie was charismatic. And Tom, you're one of the most charismatic people I know.
Oh, really? I feel bad for you.
That was charismatic, right? Join another Talking Studios production, Limited Lexicon, where we play through text-based adventure games. Text-based adventure games were computer games from before computers had graphics. The game uses text to describe a scene, and the player types back how they want to interact with the game. I'll read the text from the computer, and my co-host will feed me commands. This season, we're playing through The Hobbit from 1982 on the ZX Spectrum. Here's a quick sample.
I thought a lot about our first command, and I think it should be no print because we don't want to print things as we're going along.
I think by default, it's not going to print. And even if I did type print, where's it going to print to? 1982?
I would imagine if we go west, we're going to be south of the troll, right? Just south of the troll land.
Yeah, let's try it.
You go west. The troll's clearing. The visible...
Oh, we died.
All right.
The troll saw us and killed us.
So I think we have to say the answer to the riddle then.
The answer is dark.
Say dark, I think.
Talk to what?
Gold.
Gollum.
Say Gollum dark.
You talk to Gollum. Thorin says, hurry up.
And we died.
And we died.
So we went northeast last time. So let's go southwest.
You go southwest. Visible exits are north, northwest. You see the valuable golden ring.
Oh.
We're ending it here. That's
Wait.
perfect.
All
That's
right.
perfect.
Limited Lexicon, coming to your podcatcher and YouTube in late 2022 by Talking Studios. And we're back. So guys, one of the things I've been wondering as we've been texting each other and having a lot of fun with the group thread and the memes that this movie has generated so much between this movie and the first movie, does Top Gun Maverick require a love for Top Gun to enjoy?
It is working in that way, in this sort of nostalgia factory. There is a lot of beats that are very similar to the original cockpit, and even the getting into the F-14 at the end of the film is that kind of direct reference to it. And the movie does treat the original Top Gun like it's Casablanca. It treats it like it has these flashbacks to Goose dying and what have you, and it's like, remember that great, brilliant bit of Tony Scott's cinema masterpiece.
Play
Think
it
about
again,
on
Goose.
that. Yes, played again, Goose. So yeah, the movie is working in this kind of nostalgia factory thing that our generation, for some damn reason, can't get enough of. Um, do you need to enjoy? You need to enjoy the first movie in order to enjoy this? No, this movie is better than the first movie by far. I mean, I don't like either of these movies, but this movie is certainly an improvement. It has a better director. It looks better. I think even like you have Jennifer Connelly replacing Kelly McGinnis, which is a big positive. Even though poor Jennifer Connelly has nothing to do, she doesn't really have a character to work with. But whatever, Kelly McGinnis didn't either. Really.
Well, Tom, as you pointed out there in the first impressions, there aren't really any characters in
No,
these
it's not.
movies.
It's void of people with personalities. But I would say the movie is working in that nostalgia vein. Yes.
I'm gonna play the opposite of that. I've never seen the first one. I have no nostalgia for it. In fact, I've never even gone out of my way to see the first one, even after liking the second one. But this movie was awesome. All right, you know what? I'm a guy that loves plot. I love character hooks. I love to know the deep inner workings of the souls of the characters in the movies that I watch. But for this one, I didn't care. You show me some planes flying across the screen super fast, and you got my seat rattling because the Dolby stereo was blazing. I'm good. I don't need any nostalgia. I don't need any of that. I think some of the stuff that I noticed, because of course I've seen pieces of Top Gun on TV here and there, like him walking up to Jennifer Connelly at the end. I don't know, but that's a shot for shot remake, just a gender swap. Is that true? He's like leaning against the silver car in the original one, or am I just making that up in my head as something that I wanted to be happen?
I think that's something in your head. I'm not
That's
sure
perfectly
about
fine.
that.
I'm okay with it
He's
being
the
in my head.
motorcycle, right? In the first one?
Yeah, he's a motorcycle guy.
Okay, so I just made it up in my head then, but I loved it anyhow, and I have no connection to the original, so this absolutely does not need to have nostalgia whatsoever.
So I've been thinking a lot about the third one. Top Gun 3, Maverick Goes to Washington. It's a combination of Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, A Few Good Men, and Legally Blonde. He's trying to get Rooster's Bill going. I guess that's Legally Blonde too, red, white, and blonde.
How do they get jet fighters in it?
Well, at the end, right, the Senate's a mess because Maverick's just been like telling people off in witty ways for a while, and it wasn't effective, but everybody's a little upset about it.
So this movie will be witty. Is that right?
I thought we were
Just
starting on
like-
a positive note, Tom.
Yeah, just like Top Gun and Top Gun 2, Tom. And then the jet fighters actually won't come in until the end. Like he passes the bill, and they fly over for Maverick because of Rooster's Bill.
So there just won't really be a lot of jet fighting. It'll just be political scrambling.
No, the fighting's all on the Congress floor or whatever they call that.
Oh.
That's the. He's gonna have a wingman.
This sounds like
From
Star Wars
Vermont.
Episode 1.
Yes, it'll actually. That's another good comparison there. Top Gun 3, Episode 1.
Watch where you tread here, Tom. Watch where you tread. Making fun of Star Wars.
I think Star Wars Episode 1 is underrated. I will say that.
Another thing. So Rooster's name is Brad Bradshaw. Is that?
Yeah, Bradley Bradshaw's a rough
Brad
name.
Bradshaw?
Yeah. I would go with a nickname also if that was my condition.
He asked people to call him Rooster even before he entered jet fighters. He's like, just I don't know, call me Rooster, like, whatever.
Yeah. And Miles Teller he has a really good like movie star entrance in this. When he walks into that bar the first time, you can see this is a movie star. The light hits him differently. I just wish the script gave him more to do. I mean, we know nothing about this man, right? We don't know what he's interested in. We know he's somewhat cautious when it comes to flying. But that's about it, right? He doesn't even have like lust, apparently.
Well,
He's just
But what movie are you expecting, Tom? Like what he's interested in? Like you want to know his hobbies?
I mean, a character of some sort. There's no.
And I guess I would say one thing that Maverick does better than a lot of these nostalgia movies, as you were talking about, let's compare it to Star Wars, is that deep down, we're here to see Maverick. We're here to see Luke Skywalker. We're here to see Indiana Jones kind of do one last hurrah. But all these movies, except Maverick, kind of try to subvert it and have the new characters be the leads, and that's kind of why they are, in my opinion, failing compared to Maverick, because Maverick is able to give us that last hurrah of Tom Cruise's character without disrespecting him, or that he's not good enough anymore, or that his way of thinking is wrong, or whatever. Give us one last jet and still have some room for these characters to shine. I agree that, maybe Phoenix and Bob and Hangman are a bit one-dimensional, but it's just not their movie. They're third-tier characters. The movie is Rooster, Goose, Ice, and Maverick, and that's it. So that's why I wasn't too upset about that, because it was just focused on Maverick. I mean, it's in the name.
Yeah, I agree, Ragnar. And I just want to point out to the audience, we're recording this days before Dial of Destiny comes out. So we're referring to, I guess, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull when we're talking about Indiana Jones.
That's true. I was also referring to both of them because I haven't seen it yet. That's correct. I'm taking a wild guess here. I'm pretty sure I'm correct that Indiana Jones isn't going to save the day, that whomever is the new character is going to save the day, whatever. I'm taking a guess here. My bad. You guys judge me after we all see this movie. That's probably going to be terrible.
Imagine if K. Quick Kwan is in it. Wouldn't that be funny?
That would be good enough to get me into the theaters for sure.
And continuing what you're saying, Ragnar, I thought this movie did a great job that it felt like 30 years since the first one in universe. Right? It felt pretty seamless. Nothing felt unbelievable, except that all of our heroes were still kind of not superheroes, but they were.
Except that Tom Cruise hadn't aged a day.
Well, yeah, but that's kind of true in real life, right? Like,
yeah, it's Tom Cruise and Paul Rudd have vampired themselves into careers.
What'd you guys think about how it looked? I thought this movie looked amazing.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
I think the internals of the plane look great. And it's I can't remember the name of the cinematographer, but he's a really good, really talented cinematographer. I think it looks even a lot better than the first one. The first one is like fetishizing the Navy and these battleships and how they're moving and whatnot. The cinematography, when we get into the planes and you're able to sort of let go of the kind of the supposed character building or the combativeness that's going on, that's utterly unconvincing and there's nothing there. When you're actually able to watch this director and the cinematographer work and to put these scenes into sequences, it looks gorgeous. And it does look wonderful how they are in the plane. You see them, they're clearly flying, right? Because you see them like grabbing the walls of the cockpit and looking around and whatnot. It is quite exciting. And I'll say again, like the last 25 minutes are a lot of fun. They're very exciting. I mean, I expected one of them to die, namely Tom Cruise. I thought he was going to die and like redeem blah 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 blah. And whatever, that didn't happen. But it's still that last dogfight is quite exciting. And there's a number of stakes that are involved, right? Can they hit the target twice? Can they go up that mountain without passing out? There are two enemies approaching. When do these enemies come into the game, so to speak? So the movie, I think, changes gears in a very good way in that end act.
Yeah, the first time I saw this, I really did think Tom Cruise was going to die in that scene. Like I thought, oh, this is how the movie ends. Tom Cruise dies, and then I realized that in Tom Cruise's contract, he can't be killed in any movie. Even the Mummy, he comes back as an immortal. So that would have made the movie even more unplausible if Tom Cruise had died.
I thank God for that clause in that contract, because I don't want to see Tom Cruise die in any of these movies.
Does he have it in real life too? Is that why?
I hope so too. I just Tom, the cinematographer's name is Claudio Miranda, and he's worked with this director before in Oblivion, Only the Brave, which is also Tom Cruise and Miles Teller. But I will say, and I kind of stand up for Tom Cruise. I know he gets a lot of flack, but to me, he is truly like the last gunslinger. If this movie had any other actor in it, this whole thing would have been CGI. Any of them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's Tom Cruise who pushes the envelope and makes sure that the audience has a good experience. If it was anybody else, this movie would have been released during COVID in a streaming platform, but they held it off because they wanted it to be in the movie theaters. And that was that was the right choice. It was one of the best experiences I've ever had in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is an actor that truly, truly cares about the audience experience, and it shows in his Mission Impossible movies, especially his later ones when he's more in control. And so I think this movie is really a big success for the director, the cinematographer, and Tom Cruise.
I'd also like to congratulate our own Talking Pictures Trivia, Tom Cruise. Nick, our winner of the week.
Congratulations, Nick.
Congratulations.
Nick,
Nicely done.
Nick.
Hope you get to watch the movie soon.
You can rate and review this show anywhere podcasts are available. For those viewing in YouTube land, if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the Talking Studios channel for all our exciting content, and follow us on Twitter at Talking Studios. Check out other shows by Talking Studios, including Keep Making Movies, where we explore micro-budget films, Limited Lexicon, where we play through text-based adventure games, and Get the Point, where we slowly reveal a movie poster and try to guess which movie poster it is. Got a question for us? Call the Talking Studios hotline at 201-467-8679 and leave a message. It may be featured on a future episode. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Talking Pictures Trivia wherever fine podcasts are found.
Join us next time for The Wrestler from 2008. Stay tuned for our first impressions of The Wrestler.
Ding, 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 ding.
Next week, we'll be discussing The Wrestler from 2008. Chris, how was your watch?
I really love this movie. I've seen it a number of times. I saw it before it even had the Oscar buzz. I saw it because I was a huge wrestling fan in the early 90s. And I remember going to house shows like the ones that you see pictured in the movie itself. And even as a young, like preteen, I realized kind of like the sadness in the room. And this movie really lays the sadness on a lot. Like it put the feels into me, and the fact that I was a huge wrestling fan and experienced this as a child, and now being kind of like shown their lifestyle, shown the life that the sadness that I thought I felt as a preteen, I'm now understanding as an adult watching this film. I really enjoyed it. I loved it a lot. What about you, Tom? How was your first watch?
I saw this in theaters when it came out, and when I had seen it, I liked it a lot. This is back in 2008, so somewhat right after college. And I kind of sort of think on the Oscar buzz wave, to mix my metaphors. But I had been impressed by it. I always liked Mickey Rourke. I sort of was confused by this idea that Mickey Rourke learned to be a good actor. Mickey Rourke has always been a good actor since the 1980s. So I don't know why that was the narrative, but watching Mickey Rourke do fantastic work as he's wont to do, but in a movie actually people have seen, unlike a lot of the movies he's made, is really great. Upon my second rewatch or my third rewatch, however many times I've seen it for this show, I really didn't like it as much, though I loved Rourke's performance still, and actually found things in it that I hadn't noticed before. I'm not the biggest Darren Aronofsky fan, the director of this film. And my reasons for that are various, but I think they're apparent in the movie. I think the movie very often is sort of hitting this one note over and over and over again. I think I texted KJ at one point. I'm like, I'm just waiting for him to die so that that just could be over, so we could stop watching this Job story go on and on. Just kill him already, However, that being said, and my problems with Aronofsky that I could talk about with any number of his movies, and this is why I avoided watching The Whale, his most recent picture as of this recording. That aside, I do think the movie is worth watching for Rourke. I think Marissa Tomei is very good in it, though she's not given anything to do. Like, she barely has a character, but she does wonderful stuff with the little they've written for her. But Rourke's performance it's subtle, it's not showy. It seems like he's kind of wearing the character in a way that method actors often talk about, that I don't think you see with Natalie Portman in Black Swan, the companion picture to this. I think that's what makes Black Swan so intolerable, is the fact that Natalie Portman is steering that ship as opposed to Mickey Rourke, who I think is much more talented. And I apologize for my dog barking, audience. KJ, how was your watch?
So, growing up, I did not watch professional wrestling, although I almost did one time. I was at a friend's house, and they were sleeping over to watch a pay-per-view. This was like elementary school, maybe late elementary school. But right before I was like, oh, yeah, I'll join you guys for this, they started doing like wrestling moves, like off the couch, like not to each other. They were like taking pillows and doing slams or something. And I was like, maybe not. I'm not getting into this wrestling thing tonight. I'm very jealous of people who are into wrestling, right? There's a nonstop stream of entertainment. We had a really good friend in high school, middle school, elementary school who was really into it. He knew them all. He would do trivia during lunch. Like, it was, I don't know. It looks like a lot of fun if you can get into it. But as for the movie, my first watch, I really didn't connect with the movie very much. I have trouble connecting with ambitious people. Ambition is not something I no interest in being
That's
great.
amazing. I love that criticism. I've never heard that. I absolutely love that. I genuinely love that that connection or lack of connection. That's amazing.
Yeah, I like a wrestler, a lot of it is the show and the ego and the machoism. So then when they fall from that, I'm like, man, it was a weird goal to begin with, but that's okay. But my second watch, I appreciate a lot more now that I'm older, and I feel like I'm slowing down in some ways. Like, I can't keep up with some of the kids at work doing things. So I definitely enjoyed it a lot more on this second watch. And audience, I couldn't find it streaming anywhere. Good luck if you can find it. But enjoy. We'll see you next week. Wow, Talking Studios. And just like Tom, I guess my favorite character might have been Yale. Right, Tom? Was that one of your favorites?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
There's a character named
I've seen this
Yale.
movie twice. I have no idea who you guys are talking about.
This is my problem.
Oh. Top Gun Maverick is available on Amazon's Prime Video at the time of this recording. All right. First impressions.
Wow. Talking
Yeah,
Studios.
but, I mean, everywhere, everything, all at once. Go jump in a lake. That movie's boring. Come on.
I love the Ragnar. I've seen it 4 times.
It's it's so interesting the first 20 minutes, and then it's like, oh, it's going to be another hour of nonstop shenanigans.
The relationship between the family, man. Between the mother and the daughter, and then Ke Hung Kwang. Like, oh.
Did you see the guy's other movie? Isn't it Swiss Army Man or something like that?
Oh, the movie with the farting corpse.
That's the one.
Mm-hmm. Where Harry Potter farts. What's his name home?
Yes, that's right. That's the
Daniel
one. I like that one better.
I haven't seen it because it's about Harry Potter's dead body farting someone home. So I thought,
It does do that, but it's not the premise.
Okay.
I'm down. And if Ed Harris is in it, I'll watch
Top
it.
Gun 2.
I ran into him outside once in New York.
You ran into Ed Harris?
Yeah, he was coming back from a Broadway baseball game. Like these Broadway shows.
Huh?
I guess each show has their baseball team and they play each other.
Like a softball team?
Yeah, like a
softball
softball
league.
Maybe it was softball. Yeah. He is a small man.
Did you say hello?
I didn't know. I just saw him on the sidewalk talking to a friend of mine. And,
Man.
Who's your friend? Michelle Pfeiffer?
It was Nicolas Cage, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This was right after The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock. Gosh.